Well, it's that time, folks. It's that time. And if you ain't been paying attention to what's going on over there with our former baby girl, Amberlynn Reid, inside the LCU, doing all that, how can I say, highly requested content over there, do you think you missed out on anything? Nope. You know why? Because it's been a long week, folks. I mean, I don't know if you've been watching it, but it's been long and gets longer the days go on. Yesterday was 4 hours live stream. It's longer than like 52 Harry Potter movies over there, and it continue to go on. And the saddest part of this is like every single day, there ain't nothing going on but screaming and yelling and hollering. If I was just to re-upload the whole video right here, I would have to mute the whole thing because that's all it is. Screaming and yelling and Amberlynn Reid taking no accountability, blaming everybody, and nonsense. But last night I sat all the way up to like 3 hours and 40 minutes. I was like, I can't even watch this. I wasted 4 hours of my life, and I was like, there is nothing in this video. But that wasn't what happened. At the very end, when it was about to end, Amberlynn Reid slipped up and all came out over there, and that was the best part. So I wasted, I think, 72 hours this week of my life watching 4 hours of videos and 6 hours and 100 hours of videos. And Amberlynn Reid come on, and she made her grand finale going after the lady on the other channel from Low Rewind over there, Zay. And if you don't know, when Amberlynn Reid got hired over there on the LCU, right? Zay was going to do some content about Amberlynn Reid's past, you know, because people didn't know what was going on and they wanted to know on the LCU. And Zay's known for doing like deep dives and all that type of stuff, or get all the clips and all the information to show what went on. And you know, our former baby girl, Amberlynn Reid, she the one nothing made about, even though she put 2,756 videos of all her content and plus live streams and everything that she did on her channel. She doesn't want that exposed, even though it's all public information. So that got shut down a little bit, but then it got even worse because they, how can I say, they did like donations, right? And if they got enough money, I think it was like around $500 or something that Zay said, that the members donated, right, to do this deep dive on our former baby girl, Amberlynn Reid. So she was all excited. She was getting all them clips ready, and she was going to expose Amberlynn Reid. But did that happen? Nope. Zay came on to say later that she got some messages from the boss over there, Keem, and said, you need to shut this down. No deep dives on our former baby girl, Amberlynn Reid. You cannot do that, right? So Zay was like upset because she was going to do a whole deep dive on the current ex-girlfriend that's currently her girlfriend, known as Tommy, right? And that got shut down because it looks like Amberlynn Reid running over there and she crying in the DMs, please, 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 all the time. And I was watching another, how can I say, live stream from another one of the LCU channels over there, and they was all dancing and singing, and this got brought up, right? And even Sweet Tea said, we don't be snitching over here. And even Scooter said, no snitching, no stitching. And if you learn one thing right now, since I've been watching Amberlynn Reid over on the LCU, all she does is be sneaking in the DMs and complaining and things getting shut down. Like she is immune to all repercussions and anything going on. And that's the weak part over there. How is that, how can I say, community gonna grow when you can't even use your biggest star to expose to get some views over there? You shutting it down is not making sense to me. And from what I see, people don't be ratting and snitching on each other, but it happens to be former baby girl Amberlynn Reid. Because during this whole interview at the end of that video, right, at that live stream last night, Amberlynn Reid was trying to pull out all, you know how she does it, all the context, and try to use it against you. And when Zay said that Keem said she couldn't make that video, Amberlynn Reid quickly jumped in there and she said, oh, well, isn't all the DMs between Keem and everything supposed to be under NDA? We not allowed to say anything that said, and it shows what type of person Amberlynn Reid. She the one that's sneaking in the DMs trying to expose and say, no, you can't, you got to shut this down or I'm going to quit this job. That's the saddest part, right? She's very quick to be reading through all the guidelines and the NDAs and all this nonsense, right? But why didn't you do that on your own channel over there, former baby girl Amberlynn Reid? Why didn't you shut down all them videos that you demonetized over there, and just, you wouldn't have this problem. You wouldn't be over here working. You would still be doing over on your own channel. But now you over there behind the scenes, and nobody like a co-worker that just joins, that's running, telling the bosses and sneaking and writing letters in the employee box and leaving all this nonsense and, how can I say, exposing it and shutting everybody else down. No one likes that type of employee, and that's what it's showing you, Amberlynn Amberlynn Reid, that you're going to sneak around behind the scenes and get everybody shut down and silence everyone. And there's one thing I'm noticing in the trend here. In former baby girl Amberlynn Reid's old community, nobody seemed to like her, right? And in this current community, she is making it that she's becoming unlikable. People are trying to do their thing and she's getting it shut down. So how is it in two different communities you are now disliked and you the only variable that hasn't changed, right? So you know what I'm going to do, folks? I'm going to show you why Amberlynn Reid is disliked, because she has just joined a community. She has just got a channel over there and she's a host and she's trying to make friends over there. And the number one thing you do in your new community that you're employed at and you trying to make friends over there, you do not, one, try to threaten to sue people. And Amberlynn Reid last night at the very end of the video, like the last 3 to 5 minutes, you could watch the last live stream, she goes on to threaten Zay and say, I'm going to sue you. If you release any of this content on my ex-girlfriend that's currently my girlfriend, I'm going to sue you. Can you imagine this type of person that just joined your employment? No one is going to like that, right? So let's listen to what our former baby girl Amberlynn Reid had to say right here. Boom.
The difference is yours was a public figure, mine wasn't.
I'm fully aware of that, but even if you don't say her name, this and that, we all know what you're insinuating, and that's not fair to me.
It shouldn't be a problem if it's not true, eh?
It is a problem because my girlfriend has a career. And if you want to be a part of the reason why her, then I'll sue your.
Yes, folks, you heard right there. She threatened to sue somebody that she's currently working with. That is outrageous. But it really shows what type of person she is. Because if you're trying to make friends, the first thing you do is not threaten people in your community, let alone people that do deep dives on you. And Zay was trying to do whatever she could do to make this video. She said, I'll never use the person's name. I will not put a picture in the video about them. I will only use what you're saying, former baby girl Amberlynn Reid, from your mouth, from your videos. And Amberlynn Reid was like, no, I'm gonna sue you. My girlfriend could be affected, blah, blah, blah. Go buy a bunch of tissues and cry some more, Amberlynn Reid. This is the saddest part. You've always said that you want to be an adult, right? You're not being treated right. And look at how you are treating other people in your new community. This is why people, in a few very short seconds, they learn who you are. And they're like, I'm not going to mess with Amberlynn Reid because she's not a person over there that's nice. And the only person that's believing that you a nice person is you. Not even your reflection in the mirror is believing that. They don't even show up when you go in front of it. They're like, I'm not going to mess with Amberlynn Reid. Maybe she's going to sue me too. That's how it is. And it really shows the type of person you are. And if you didn't pick up on another little hint that I left in that video, Amberlynn Reid has been saying all this time since day 1 or day 2 or day 3 over there that her girlfriend is not a public figure to the people under LCU, right? And if you listen carefully at the beginning of that video that I just posted, she admits that her girlfriend is a public figure. You know why? Because she wasn't thinking to try to make up a story. She was just trying to defend, and she came out with the truth, right? So in this situation, when Amberlynn Reid is under pressure, she forgets the lies that she says and she just goes where she knows, right? So if it's the truth, she'll say it and then she'll come and reword it later. And a funny part, Amberlynn Reid is preaching all about how she gonna sue, right? But I'm gonna go back during the week, right? Her and how can I say another person in the LCU got into it, right? Do you see a trend here? Amberlynn Reid's getting into it with everybody in the community. And this happened to do with a person over there named Tina, right? So for the people that don't know, that haven't been watching all this mess over and over again, and you can't even deal with it, I'm going to give you a recap what happened. Amberlynn Reid is a person that comes over here and she says all the time, I don't want anybody to use my past against me. And all the time, over and over, do not use my past, do not bring up my past, do not say anything about my past, blah, blah. That's Amberlynn Reid. So what did Amberlynn Reid do? She went over there and she brought up Tina's son's past from when he was like a minor a long time ago and brought it all up. And Tina was not playing them games. Tina came onto the channel and she ripped into Amberlynn Reid. It was almost worse than on Tammy, right? And I didn't think it get any louder than that, folks. And if you don't know Tina, Tina is very boisterous. I mean, she have a voice that, how can I say, it is loud, very loud. And she, at one point, was screaming so much. She was holding the camera, like the microphone, boom, that big furry thing on the front, that foam. She had it almost in her eye, in her mouth, screaming at Amberlynn Reid. It was out of control. And Amberlynn Reid how can I say, at that point where she did, she's the one that said, don't use my past against me. And the moment Amberlynn Reid could use somebody's past against them, she does it. She don't care. She ruthless like that, and she will. She goes out all the time going after people. Even when there was the tryouts, she actually asked one of the people, tell me something about your past that you lied about. Did you do that just to find out? Nope, you were going to use that against them to say, see, you lied, you did this, you're a bad person. And the sad thing, Amberlynn Reid only has the past because the future hasn't happened and the present is already over. So she's going to only always live in the past, and that's how it is. And the sad part of that, right, is Amberlynn Reid can never move forward. And the only person she could blame is herself. Look at her old YouTube channel. The only thing that she has there is past partners, past friends, past everybody. Nobody care about the mukbang her brains out over there. Nobody care about the torrid halls. Nobody care about all the rest of the nonsense she posted over there. And I want you to think about it. Everybody in the comment section, did you find Amberlynn Reid for all the drama, all the ex-girlfriend drama, all the partner drama, all the friends drama, all the stuff that's been on channels over and over? Or did you come to watch her do Legos and makeup and hauls and cooking in the kitchen? Nope, never gonna happen. But even if you want, you could do a little bit lie. You could say, I loved Amberlynn Reid or her hauls. Write it in the comment section. I loved her Legos. I used to watch them 24/7, her putting the Legos together in the 6 videos she did. Just say whatever you want. So now that we've done with all that nonsense, let's go back on to what happened with Tina. So Tina was screaming at Amberlynn Reid, and Amberlynn Reid was just, you know how she stands there like, I don't know what's going on. That's what she was doing. She just standing there just looking in the camera like, what's going on? And the best part, Tina actually said, Amberlynn Reid, if you look into my son's past and you post information on it, I'm going to sue you. Isn't that the famous words of former baby girl Amberlynn Reid? But in this situation, the whole attitude was different. If you go back and watch that whole scene with Tina, Amberlynn Reid heard the word sue, and you saw her eyes like a deer in the headlights, had no clue what was going. She was like, no. I'm not going to get no suit up in this place. She was like, oh, no, we need to change on the topic, no suing. That's how it was. But Amberlynn Reid, when she could bully and throw them words out there, and she said, I'm going to scare people like that, you can see she not ready for none of that lawsuit stuff, because Tina, when she said them words, boom, Amberlynn Reid had nothing to say. She wanted to move on topic, and she didn't want to be sued. You know why? Because Amberlynn Reid does not want to come over here and work over there 24/7, 92 days a week, 387 days a year to make enough money to pay for a lawsuit. And that's how I saw it. You can see she was not ready, because even Tina said, I will come where you live and I will serve you in the hand. I will hand you this serving thing for the lawsuit myself. And Amberlynn Reid was like, this lady not playing no games. Let me just get off of the topic and move on. And that's the best part to understand. Amberlynn Reid's throwing out these words and she don't care, because when it's coming at her, she dodging and running and hiding and in the DMs. Oh, please tell them not to sue me. Oh, please don't do no videos about me. My girlfriend's off limit, but 99.9% of everyone else here in the LCU I could talk about. That's not fair. They need to actually lay down the law with Amberlynn Reid. Say you no different than the rest. You might be a bigger star. You may have a bigger audience right here and whatever it is, but you not immune to the rules that everyone else. And if they don't do that, and I'm watching from a third party over here, I'm just watching, I would say that is unfair to the other people that, how can I say, laid the groundwork for that community. They built the channels over there, and this person just walking in here, how can I say, just trashing people, doing what she says, getting away with everything, sneaking behind the scenes, being a snitch and ratting on everybody. That's not fair at all. And I could see little by little in that community, they not having that. Because if you go on the other channels, they talk about Amberlynn Reid on their lives, and you can see not everybody's happy, right? They're all like, oh, Amberlynn Reid, she's a great star in the beginning, but now they see who they dealing with, and they don't want to deal with that. And the only person that I see that wants to get involved like that was Zay, and they shut that completely down. And that's unfair, because Amberlynn Reid says that all the reactors and all these people are lying, and the commentary people and everybody's twisting the words that is in her videos, that she's the only one speaking, and everybody somehow did this, they twisted this. When she have a chance for somebody in her new community that she's loved over there is gonna do a video that's not a reactor, that's not from the commentary, that's not from Girl World, that's not from anybody else, right? It is her new community. They're being shut down. So that doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't you think even if they expose you, they're supposed to have your side over there and you're going to talk it out and then discuss it and move on, right? Because how can I say, they sit over in the community, they let people have second chances and move on to be a better person. So why are you not letting Zay or anybody else in that community do this video, you discuss it and move on? Instead, you getting them locked down, shut down, and they not allowed to speak. That's not going to make it any better for you in that community, and it's going to only prove that the people outside the community is not lying, because over there, they have a chance. You have a chance, Amberlynn Reid, to let somebody over there make a video that has nothing to do with the rest of the people over here. But instead, you choose to silence them. That's all we need to know. Well, that's the end of the video, folks, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Later.